Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the stage of survivors. To fight for the freedom of the movement, to fight for the justice against the stop of memorandum of understanding.
We're trying to reach and express our pain and our stories in every possible way, and throughout humanity, theater and art was a way. So we're trying to express and not act but react our stories again today.
The international community created the system of criminal justice after one of the darkest chapters of human history. They said, never again. They built courts in The Hague. They called it international justice, and they promised that those who commit crimes against humanity will be held accountable no matter how powerful they are. But in Libya, in the Mediterranean, here in Italy, and in Europe, that promise is not being fulfilled. Italy, Libya, and the EU have committed crimes against humanity. These crimes have victims, and they deserve the truth. These crimes also have perpetrators who shall be named, shamed, and brought to justice. When this international justice system abandons us, fails us, we cannot stay silent. We are forced to hold our own tribunal, the Libya Refugee Tribunal. As the president of the Libya Refugee Tribunal, Aminata Drame, I declare this trial open.
Even under the sun, our world is dark. Our world is betrayal, rage against the architects of border, death, and denial. We know, knowing is a wound that does not close unless justice is served.
Please, refugee prosecutor, introduce the alleged criminals and present your charges against them.
In front of you, you have individuals criminally responsible for the suffering of thousands of refugees and migrants in Libya. These individuals accused have trained, equipped, coordinated and financed criminal militias with the intention to keep migrants and refugees away from Europe through all sorts of abuses. Those are racist government officials whose hate and prejudice towards black migrants and refugees had led them to commit the most atrocious of crimes against humanity. Arbitrary detention, inhuman and degrading treatment, human trafficking, rape and other forms of sexual violence, slavery, torture, and extrajudicial killing. These crimes have been committed with such gravity and such large scale that they counter human nature. These are crimes against humanity. Here are the individuals accused of these crimes. Carlo Nordio, Alfredo Montalbano. You are accused of obstruction of justice for ignoring an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court and freeing al-Masri, the Libyan war criminal, a bloody murderer and torturer leading the Libyan judicial police, Matteo Piantedosi. You are accused of multiple homicides for ignoring the duty to rescue people at sea and for obstructing search and rescue operations. You are also accused of stealing tens of thousands of euros from civil sea rescue boats. Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister, accused for conspiring to obstruct justice, for freeing al-Masri, the Libyan war criminal, for illegal surveillance, and for training, equipping, and supporting criminal militias. You are accused of committing crimes against humanity at Libya and at sea. Thank you.
We are still here. We are the remnants of the forgotten sea, the faces that Europe pretends not to see. We were not born to drown in the high seas in search of safety. We were not born to be counted by surveillance drones of Frontex and more. We are not statistics. Europe calls this work migration, but we experienced it as refuge. Europe calls it border control. We experienced it as deliberate murders. What Europe calls cooperation, we experienced as slavery. This is the president of the tribunal talking and reading our verdict. Caldo Nordio, Alfredo Mantovano, we declare you guilty of obstructing justice, of illegal surveillance, and of committing crimes against humanity in Libya and at sea. Matteo Piantadosi, we declare you guilty of homicide for ignoring the duty to rescue people at sea, of obstructing search and rescue operation. Giorgia Meloni, we declare you guilty of crimes against humanity in Libya and at sea. As a compensation for their crimes, we order them to immediately suspend all support to Libyan criminal militias, suspend the Memorandum of Understanding with Libya, issue humanitarian visas to Italy to all those refugees and migrants who have suffered crimes against humanity, financially compensate all those refugees and migrants who have suffered crimes against humanity in Libya. This tribunal has spoken. I declare the session closed with the word, stop memorandum. Stop memorandum. Stop memorandum. Stop memorandum. Stop memorandum. Stop memorandum.